Hello everyone, welcome to my December 2020 wrap-up. This month, I finished 11 books out of a total of 14 books that I read. And this is my biggest reading accomplishment in 2020 and I'm so proud of it. So without further ado, let's jump into the list of books that I finished reading this month. Books number 1 to 6 are Diary of Wimpy Kid book series, book 7 to 12. So these are the titles that I read in December 2020. I practically binge read this because I just discovered Libby this month, and there are, if I'm not mistaken, there are about 15 books of the series in Libby, and I intend to continue reading the series in January 2021. If you haven't read the Diary of Wimpy Kid series before, I highly recommend you to do so because it's a very entertaining read. There was never a time I'm disappointed with the book ability to make me laugh because it's just so funny, and to figure out where the funny parts lie, you have to read the book by yourselves. Diary of Wimpy Kid is about a middle school student named Greg Hafley, and I think in every book, Greg always finds himself at the wrong place in the wrong time, but his misfortunes are kind of funny, and he always finds a way to get out of his problem, and most of the time that doesn't end well for him. But it's funny. I guarantee you it's funny. It's intended for middle grade, but I believe all adults will also like this series. So it's a must read. Number 7 is The Shadows We Hide by Alan Askins. This book is a sequel of The Life We Bury. I once made a video reviewing The Life We Bury. You can check the link in the description box below. This book is about a man named Joe Talbert, and the story is set about 5 or 6 years after the event in the first book. So Joe Talbert used to be a college student in the first book, and now he is a reporter. And once again, he is involved in a murder case, and this one is the death of a man named Joe Talbert, which he suspected very much was his father. I love the first book so much, and for this book, I absolutely cannot say that I hate it, but I like the first one better. But it's still a good read, even if you don't love mystery thriller books. And though it's a sequel, I think this book is also great for being read as a standalone. So book number 8 is The Dark Maidens, aka Girls in the Dark by Akiyoshi Rikako. So this is a Japanese novel, and this is Akiyoshi Sensei's second book that I read. The first one I read is Holy Mother, and I really love the story. I even made 2 videos about Holy Mother, one with spoiler and one without the spoilers. You can check the video links in the description box below. Girls in the Dark is a story about a literary club in a Catholic high school in Japan. The Catholic school is very prestigious and it's a girls-only school, so it's obvious that all the main characters in this novel are girls only. The whole story takes place in an annual meeting of the club. So as the tradition goes, every year in the meeting, every member of the club must write a short story beforehand, and in the annual meeting, they have to read the short stories to the other members. And the whole meeting has to take place in the literary club lounge in a darkened room, so they cannot actually see each other's faces. It's a strange tradition. But what makes this annual meeting special is that it takes place about a week after the former president of the club, named Itsumi, died mysteriously. This annual meeting, which was led by the vice president of the club named Sayuri tells the members to write a short story about Itsumi in order to reveal in order to find out what actually happened to Itsumi, why she died, and what are they going to do afterwards. It's a very, very interesting story because once the girls read their own stories, they start accusing each other, and it seems that all of them are guilty. But of course, like Holy Mother, there is a surprising twist in the end. I really, really love this. Although I think compared to Holy Mother, the twist is rather more predictable, but it's a very fun read and you have to read this one. Book number 9 is The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. This is also a sequel. I think I read so many sequels this month. This is the sequel of the famous novel The Handmaid's Tale, which was written in the 80s, but it is still widely read across the world until now. I think I like The Testaments much more than the previous novel because it's less boring and is told by 3 different women. Like the first novel, the story still takes place in Gilead, a theocratic country that used to be part of the United States. This is still a very dystopian novel. One of the main characters in this story is Aunt Lydia. Aunt Lydia is one of the founders of Gilead, but actually she is a traitor and she really wants to destroy Gilead from the inside. So it's a very interesting story, and just like the first book, there are lots of issues related to feminism. Oh, and if you haven't known, my very first video in this channel is about The Handmaid's Tale. This is the video. I talk about women issues that is mentioned in the novel that is still relevant in our society until now. You can check the video link in the description box below. Number 10 is Lockwood and Co, The Screaming Staircase. This is the first book of the Lockwood and Co series. I have to say that unexpectedly, I fall in love with the story and I intend to read the sequels in 2021. It's about Lockwood and Co, obviously. It's an agency based in London and it consists of 3 members, Lockwood, George Chubbins, and Lucy Carlyle. Lucy is the narrator of the story. The 3 of them, all of them, are still teenagers. So they live in a world that is haunted by ghosts when it gets dark. And the purpose of the agency is to solve the problems caused by the hauntings. In this book, they have a major task to solve the haunting problems, the deadly haunting problems in an ancient hall with staircase that is mentioned in the title. I won't say much about this book because there is a video about it where I discuss this book with my reading buddy, Sherry from the Cozy Library channel. You can check this video and the link is in the description box. Number 11 is Baby Without Daddy. This is the only Indonesian novel on the list and I read this online in storial.co. It's a novel about a woman in her 30s named Mentari, and she is a very independent woman. She is beautiful, she is smart, but she has one fear. She fears that one day she will die alone without anyone knowing that she's already dead. So she wants to have a baby so that she can raise him or her and the child can look after her. But the problem is she believes that being committed to a man only causes problems, so she wants to have a baby without daddy. I have already made a review on this in my blog, link down below. So those are the books that I managed to finish in December 2020, and there are still 3 books that are unfinished yet, and I intend to finish reading them as soon as possible. The three books are Dangerous Prayers by Craig Rochelle. This is a Christian book. So as Christians, it's very, very human. I think that we tend to pray safe prayers like, Lord, please protect me. Lord, please make this easy for me. But we often don't have the guts to pray dangerous prayers like, Lord, please search me and break me and send me. So this book is basically about how to pray, to ask God to do whatever it takes to make us be more like Him. The second book is Make Your Bed. Maybe you have ever heard of the saying, if you want to change the world, you have to start by making your bed. This book contains that lesson and other lessons that the author gets while he was serving in Navy SEAL. The third book is Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. It's about two teenagers named Prudence and Quint. Prudence and Quint used to be biology lab partners throughout the school year, but Quint really annoyed Prudence. They are not actually on good terms, but in the summer holiday, there is something that made them has to work together. I can't say much about this book because I'm just halfway through it. So I'm doing a quick update here. Right after filming that video, I decided to read Instant Karma, and things in the novel start to be very, very interesting between Quinn and Prudence. So I just cannot stop reading, and I finished the novel just before midnight. So Instant Karma is the last novel that I finished in December 2020 and in the year 2020 in general. This is the novel. This is the first Marissa Meyer's book that I read, and some said that this is not her best work, that her fantasy works like Heartless or Renegades, if I'm not mistaken, are much better than this one. I really, really like this book, and I can't wait to read the rest of Marissa Meyer's works that is said to be much better than this. I set my expectations so high. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching until the end. Please like this video if you like this kind of content, and don't forget to click subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can get informed every time I release new videos. See you in my next videos. Bye bye!